The coldest story ever told. Somewhere far along this road, he lost his soul to a woman so heartless. How could you be so heartless? Oh, how could you be so heartless? How could you be so cold as the winter wind when it breeze? Yo, just remember that you talking to me, though you need to watch the way you talking to me, yo. I mean, after all the things that we've been through, I mean, after all the things we got into. Hey yo, I know some things that you ain't told me. Hey yo, I did some things, but that's the old me. And now you wanna give me back and you gon' show me. So you walk around like you don't know me. You got a new friend, well I got homies, but in the end it's still so lonely. In the night I hear him talk, the coldest story ever told. Somewhere far along this road, he lost his soul to a woman so heartless. How could you be so heartless?
All right, here we go. I don't know why this thing is still on my screen like that, but yep. What's good, people? Why is this? Why is this on my screen? Sorry, folks. Give me 1 second. It's always something when you go live. Get off the screen, man. Shouldn't be on there.
In the night, I
Stop.
hear him talk, the coldest
Stop.
story ever told. Somewhere far
Damn.
along this
My
road.
bad. What's good, y'all? What's good, peoples? You know how this goes. Welcome back to Next Bus, Please. I'm your boy Blunt. I am joined with my guest, Mr. Lloyd Archer, president of TW100R Incorporated. We got a couple of things we want to talk to you about today. Sorry, let me get that out of the face, guy. uh, every time I go live, something goes wrong. Everything was running smooth till I hit the live button. But what's good, Lloyd? How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Good evening, everybody. I'm good.
Yeah.
Just cold, a little cold, snowed in.
Yeah, out in Delaware, I know you guys are getting it. We got it here too.
Yeah, we got it kind of bad.
Yeah. But before we get into all the other stuff we're going to talk about, I just wanted to say, here at Next Bus, please, we try not to bring the politics into what we're doing here because, especially right now, this country is just completely polarized by it. It's either one or the other, and it's just a topic that invokes hard feelings in a lot of people. With that said, though, I cannot, in good conscience, ignore what's happening in Minnesota. Um, Regardless of what you feel about this administration or not, what's happening in Minnesota is affecting everybody. I mean, people's feelings are just people feel just fed up about what's happening with our government. Um, when you look at what happened with the first, trying to how do I word this right, shooting, I guess, of Miss Good, people feel like either she was unalived intentionally and she deserved it, or she was unalived trying to get away. I, you know, I give them the first shot. I always say I give them the first shot because depending on which video you look at, it can be fought in a court of law that it looks like she tried to run him over, right? So, okay, I'll give you the first shot in defense. The next two shots after that, completely uncalled for. But then when you look at other videos with different angles, it's clear that she didn't try to run him over. She tried to just get away. And he took it upon himself to put those shots into her. Uh, what you think about that, Lloyd?
Well, I just, with all that's going on, it's just like you said. It angers me when I look at that video, and now I look at this gentleman, the second one, and
Mm-hmm.
the second one. Well, to shoot her twice in the face, I have a real problem with that. And for them to get on the news and minimize it and call her what do they
A
call her?
terrorist,
A homegrown terrorist,
a domestic terrorist, and
domestic terrorist.
right. Same
Why?
thing they said about the second guy too. Also,
Right. And the second one, there's no excuse because in all the videos that I've seen with the second one, you can see that they unarmed him, and he didn't have his gun no out. It was in a holster. It was
mm-hmm.
concealed. The only way they saw it because he was on the ground and they were roughing him
On his
up.
back, right?
You know, and
Eh, yeah, go ahead.
and for them to light him up like that, I, my opinion, that was cold blooded murder.
Absolutely. I mean, even with the shakiest video, you could see that it was just uncalled for. Now, when you there's a certain video that's out now. When you look at it, the guy that disarmed him, the minute he was disarming him, one of the agents already pulled out his gun and was aiming it towards his back. Now they said in the video you hear somebody say gun, gun, gun. I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking, that was the guy who disarmed him was like saying, trying to tell him, gun. I got the gun. And he was already running away. Now here's the other thing. They pump 5 shots into him. Then it gives a couple of seconds. They pump 5 more shots into him. Like, and I'm hearing people say, and this is, I'm hearing people say, well, he should have complied, or he should have never brought his gun to a protest, and it's like the hypocrisy of those statements, you
Right,
know.
right. And it's a concealed carry state where he was legally carrying a gun,
Yeah,
open and concealed carry, sort of
right,
like Delaware is open and concealed. You
right.
can carry your weapon. There's unless that state has restrictions, and it says specifically you can't carry in a store, you can't carry on public transportation, you can't carry at a rally, which probably wouldn't even be there. None of those specifics apply. So he was
Mm,
carrying legally.
right, right. He didn't brandish it, and they were saying, "Oh, he was attacking." He was not attacking law enforcement. He was trying to protect the lady that they shoved violently to the ground. They were attacking her. He was trying to protect that lady. Then they said, "Well, he didn't show his ID." At what point was he supposed to reach and show his ID?
And
They
how
were
could he
beating
show
the
it?
crap. Yeah, they was beating the crap out of him. I mean, he literally. So I have a picture on my page where he's literally on one hand was on the ground and on both knees. I'm not quite sure what he has in the other hand. I thought it was his phone, a phone at first, but when you zoom in, it doesn't look like a phone. It's not a gun, but he has something else in his hand. And then you see the gun pointing right like at his back already. It's like, what part of that is him resisting? It's
Well, you can't believe your eyes anymore.
mm-hmm.
That's what they're saying. Don't believe what you see. Your
Don't
eyes are
believe your
playing
own.
tricks on you.
Yeah. And then again with with Christy Nome going on there before any investigation or anything being looked into, brandished both of them as domestic terrorists. And she even went as far as to say that he went and was attacking officers, and he was there uh, to do the most violent acts and kill police officers.
And the crazy part of it is they're not letting the police of that city do any investigation. What's
Right.
the problem? Why? And from what I'm told, that they had a court order saying that they could go in and investigate this shooting. But again, we haven't heard anything about Miss Good's shooting because
Mm-hmm.
allegedly the federal government is investigating. It makes people not trust the system.
If they haven't trusted the system before, they certainly ain't gonna trust it now. And
Exactly.
if you did trust it, now you should be looking at it side eye squinting, like, this don't feel right. But the funny thing is, you talk to certain people, uh, they have an answer for everything, and it's like,
Yes.
it's like you got to be kidding me. What did you not see what I see? And it's like, no, they don't. They don't see what you see. They see what they want to see. They see what their Messiah tells them to see.
Right. And
And
you wonder how can people be so damn gullible? How
mhm,
you being so gullible? And I mean, you're easily brainwashed or what? Look at what's going on around you, and then somebody else is in your ear telling you that's not what you did, that's not what you see, and you turn around and look. Really, that's not what I see. I believe you. You know.
right, right, eat so easily. Like, no, it's just it's a sad state that our country is in, and unfortunately, this is the way, and this is my opinion. You could hate it or love it, whatever. But this administration set it up that way so that um, when they say they're fighting and they're doing things to benefit you, they make it personal so that you feel like once you say something that goes against this administration, it's like now you're attacking their character and they take it personal. It's like, dude, I post up on Facebook this second shooting was just sad and that they all should be put under the jail. And people come on there and they make it political. And I'm like, I don't see what I said in that comment that has anything to do with politics.
Right.
And it's like, oh, Joe Biden, Trump. What are we talking about here? I'm talking about this shooting by these people, these individuals against a man. I didn't say anything about Trump. I didn't say anything about Joe Biden. I didn't care about. It has nothing to do with them. I mean, it does when you peel back the layers, but that's not what I'm talking about. This is basically right and wrong.
Right.
That's it.
Exactly.
You know,
The
it,
specific part of it, what we're talking about people getting murdered in the street,
mhm.
and that's it. We didn't say You didn't say, like you said, you didn't mention Trump, you didn't mention Biden. You just mentioned you're talking about that specific situation. They call that something when people reflect or deflect, deflect from what you're really talking about. There's a word for that. I don't know exactly what the word is. To me, it's
No,
just
it is sad. And look at the hypocrisy, right? You talk about I forget his name, Petty or some Petrie or something like that.
yeah, right.
Oh, he shouldn't have carried his gun to the protest. Nobody was saying that about Kyle Rittenhouse,
He had an
right?
AK-47
He had an
walking up and
AK
down the street.
and he took it delivery to a protest. He went to protect the store. It actually was out, not even in his town. It was a town. It was across town from him. So he carried that thing across town to protect the store in the protest. Should he have not carried his AK because he was going to a protest? They didn't say nothing about that, and he was found not guilty.
Hmm.
Not guilty.
And he even
So
got well, I'm not gonna mention that
right,
because we're not
yeah,
gonna
right. Now here's the funny thing that I found out, Lou. I don't know if you heard of this, but while they're doing the investigation about Miss Good, they found out that a couple of years back, I'm not quite sure what year it was, but they found that border patrol agents were purposely stepping in front of moving vehicles to justify their shootings.
yes.
And
I
you
heard
could
a
guess
story
which
like that
one of
on
the
one of the
right.
podcasts, yes.
You could guess which one of the agents was part of that group.
I
You know,
don't know his
it's
name,
like
but I know who it is.
right, exactly. I mean, it's just the temperature of our country needs to cool. I'm saying this in the middle of a freaking blizzard, but the
Yeah.
temperature of our country needs to calm down, cool down,
Yes.
because people need to just sit back and relax and see what's actually going
But
on.
but but
Be-
how do people relax when they're doing this crap right before your eyes? How do you relax? How do you gotta actually flip a switch in your brain, turn the TV off, put your phone down, because it's all in your face. There's
right,
no way to get away from it unless you sitting in a bubble now.
right.
You
My
know?
my my YouTube channel is just flooded. Everything's Trump, 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 Trump. Minnesota. I'm like, can I find? I look for my flat Earth things just to get away from all that stuff, to watch them debate and stuff like that. And it's like you can't get away from this stuff. Yeah, and it's what's wild. What I found amazing is that people outside of this country can see exactly what's happening and call it out.
Yeah.
Easy, easy. I watched a couple of podcasts from the UK and they talk about the politics that's happening here. and they call it out. They call it out. And I'm like, how is it that people outside of our country, across the pond, whether they're above us or below us, they can see easily what's happening, but yet we have half of our country won't even look at it, acknowledge what's going
Don't
on.
believe it. And some of them are cheering it on. That's the crazy part. They find every excuse. Well, they shouldn't be here illegal. How do you know if they're not? How do you know if they're legal or not? How do you know that? Because the whole thing was supposed to be about getting criminals and everything out of here, but it moved beyond that now, way beyond.
Right. Exactly. The whole thing was like, and I said this to one of my guys who I I'm cool with, and I'm like, nobody, most of us are not inherently against ICE deporting people, especially if they're going after the criminals and the ones who didn't come here legally. You know, nobody's inherently against that. It's like, when Obama was president, I hate to bring this up, he's the one who has the most record for most deportations. And they're like,
Right,
okay, so why nobody talking about? Because he not doing what's happening here. What's happening
right.
here is ridiculously illegal.
He didn't have
It's
no ICE agents out in the street and and with a budget. What's their budget? $7 billion budget.
exactly. It's just I don't. No, not what I want to do. I'm trying to. I'm doing something over here behind the scenes. But yeah. So what 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 do we do now? We have to let it play out. When this
Exactly.
administration is gone, hopefully the next administration will come in and fix it. They're gonna they're
A
gonna have
lot
a
of
lot of
cleaning up
fixing to
to
do.
do.
They're gonna have a lot of fixing to do.
A whole lot. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. That's what I wanted to do. Because I'm trying to set up the second screen and I needed you here to set it up. So there we go. All right. So we're gonna leave that crap alone.
Yeah.
Got it
It
off our
becomes
chest.
depressing after a while.
Yeah, yeah, sure. But we do have wait a minute, let me get to this. Where am I? Oh yeah, before we leave, I wanted to bring this up because people are starting to wake up, right? And not just people. You have major companies now that are starting to speak out on these issues, right? Right here, you have an open letter for more than 60 CEOs of Minnesota based companies that wrote a letter. I believe it's to either Christy Nome or the administration because they're tired of just sitting back. They feel like they cannot just sit back and just watch this happen. And so let me just make this a little bit bigger. Here, this is one of the letters that they wrote to our government. And so let me just read it out loud for you guys. You guys can follow along. Make sure. That's it? Yeah, there we go. January 25th, which is yesterday. The Minnesota Chambers of Commerce released this letter on behalf of more than 60 CEOs of Minnesota based companies today. The full extent of the letter appears below. And it says the business community in Minnesota prides itself in providing leadership and solving problems to ensure a strong and vibrant state. The recent challenges facing our state have created widespread disruption and tragic loss of life. For the past several weeks, representatives of Minnesota business community have been working every day behind the scenes with federal, state, and local officials to advance real solutions. These efforts have included close communications with the governor, Reading is fundamental. The White House, the vice president, and local mayors. There are ways for us to come together and foster progress. With yesterday's tragic news, we are calling for immediate de escalation of tensions and for the state, local, and federal officials to work together to find real solutions. We have been working for generations to build a strong and vibrant state here in Minnesota and will do so in the months and years ahead of equal and even greater commitment. In this difficult moment for our community, we call for peace and focused cooperation among local, state, and federal leaders to achieve a swift, durable solution that enables families, businesses, our employees, and communities across Minnesota to resume our work to build a bright and prosperous future. And that's what over 60 CEOs, there's different companies. I will again post a link in the description so you guys can read it and see the other companies that are involved that got along with it. But not just them. Not just and this is what really piqued my interest because it's rare that this particular company really says it. Once in a while they'll come out and say stuff, but they usually just stay to themselves, and that's the NBA.
Mm,
Let me get a sip.
that was interesting. That was very interesting. The NBA
The
spoke out
NBA
about it.
spoke out finally about something, and I'm gonna put that up. Let me just raise it a little bit bigger. I had to reset everything, and you guys could read along with me on this NBA. New York, January 25th, 2006. Is that's not right? They put 2006. Okay, 220. It's supposed to be 2026. But anyway, they says following the news, yet another fatal shooting in Minneapolis, a city that has been on the forefront of the fight against injustices. NBA players can no longer remain silent. Wow. Now more than ever, we must defend the right to freedom of speech and stand in solidarity with the people of Minnesota protesting and risking their lives to demand justice. The fraternity of the NBA players, like the United States itself, is a community enriched by its global citizens, and we refuse to let the flames of division threaten the civil liberties that are meant to protect us all. The MBPA and its members extend our deepest condolences to the families of Alex Preddy, that's his name, and Renee Good, just as our thoughts remain focused on the safety and well being of all members of our community. That in itself seems to be really powerful, you know.
And with that said, I would love to hear what the NFL is going to say or do.
Right.
That would be interesting because
I mean, they kind of went against Colin Kaepernick,
that's
so
I was getting ready to say that.
it's
I had to
like,
think. I don't want to be too political here,
yeah,
but you know,
I get, yeah. I mean, it's just they need to step it up. I mean, if the NBA's got time to say something and um feel that way about it, to actually voice their opinion when they're very sensitive about saying things, you know. I get it from a business standpoint. You don't want to alienate any of your um
supporters or
right
let's say
support. Right.
customers or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it.
No, you it was right, supporters. And you definitely don't want to you don't want the brass or the board to start to push back against you either. So it's a delicate situation for them. So for them to come out and write a full letter and publicly put it out there, that's a big deal. That's
Yeah,
a big deal.
it is. It
And,
is.
and I think, like you said, everybody now is looking at the NFL like,
When are you
what,
gonna? When
what
y'all
are you
gonna
doing?
step up? Yeah.
Right, right. What's going on with you guys? y'all not care about what's happening in our country? Yeah, kind
This
of
world is
funny.
crazy.
Now
And
people start to boycott them.
yeah, well, like they doing in Minnesota, they did a day strike. Nobody went to work, nobody traveled, nobody did nothing. You
Hmm.
know, and that's solidarity. If we could just do that all over the place, I mean, I was listening to a guy say, you know, we could do all this jumping up and down, protesting and everything, but what really hurts these oligarchs and these rich people is you start messing with their money.
Hmm. Digging their pockets.
Right. Once you start messing with their money that they don't understand when they die, they can't take it with them. That's when they pay attention.
Mm.
But unfortunately, we ask people not to go in Target. We ask people not to go in Walmart. It did a little damage, but it should have did a lot more because you can go in some of those stores and they're in there in droves, you know. But that's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's hard to get everybody to cooperate because everybody has their own mind about what's what and whatever. The solidarity is like our union. It's just not
That's
there.
a yeah. Well, that's another issue.
It's just not there. And speaking of our union, um, we yesterday we had. Let me just set that up. We had our very first mass membership meeting. Not yesterday, Saturday.
Right.
Saturday we had our very first mass membership meeting, and I don't know, Lloyd. What did you hear about what was going on with that?
From what I heard, and I believe, it came from three different sources. They didn't have but about maybe 500 people there,
Mm,
and they didn't have like when we had math when I was with the union, we had mics set up on each side of the room if there's any, especially if it's contract time.
right,
There's questions that could be posed to the president, secretary treasurer, who all the top four that's up there.
right,
At this meeting, they didn't have any microphones. They didn't let the membership ask any questions. They gave them an empty bag of nothing in it. They had a couple of politicians come speak, um, and that was it. They didn't, it wasn't a mass membership meeting that I remember. How I remember, I had a picture, but I was just sitting here trying to pull it up so I could send it to you to show people
mm,
what a real mass membership meeting looked like. You
mm,
know, and pe- I don't care how cold it was. We were out there in the freezing cold when we had our mass membership meeting. There's no excuse. They have totally turned the membership off with the nonsense and the shenanigans that's going on with that union. But I don't want to get into that and get my pressure up. So
right, right. No, but you correct about um the weather. Weather's not an issue. I mean, we had the 2005 strike, and it was
freezing.
like brick outside, and everybody
Yes,
was gladly there. So, I mean, you can't blame the weather for people not showing up. The only reason um, people are not showing up is because they feel disenfranchised. They don't have
exactly.
any faith in the union anymore. But you ain't got to listen to me. We have the third vice chair who put out a video. Let's watch that real quick.
My name is Hyla DeBreo, and I want to talk plainly about what we all just witnessed at the Javits Center. Because what matters isn't the size of the room or the slogans on the wall. What matters is whether the membership was respected, heard, and empowered. Let's start with something simple. At a mass membership meeting, especially one paid for with our dues, members should be able to participate. We should be able to ask questions. We should be able to raise
Bro,
concerns. We should be able to
No, no,
debate,
because it
offer
stopped.
resolutions,
it's
and
still
hear
going.
directly how
It looks
our
still.
contract fight is being advanced.
Oh, okay.
That
I'm watching
did
it on my
not
TV.
Oh,
happen.
okay.
There were no microphones on the floor. No agenda was shared. No contract demands were presented. No bargaining strategy was discussed. No votes were taken. No member input was requested. That's not a mistake. That's a design choice. When a microphone isn't available for members, it's not because someone forgot. It's because leadership does not want open questioning. And when members can't speak, the event stops being a meeting and becomes a presentation. Now, let's talk about what was emphasized. We saw slogans, we saw chants, we saw speeches from outside politicians, and at the end, we were all asked to wait around for pictures. That matters because when an event produces no outcomes, no decisions, and no progress, but ends with a photo opportunity, the photo was the point. This wasn't about moving the contract forward. This was about producing an image, and that image was tightly controlled. The focus of this meeting seemed to be strictly upon the top four officers. No division leadership, no broader representation, no delegates, no shop floor voices, just four individuals, not the membership. This is at a time when leadership is under
I
significant
just can't
internal
hear
and
it
legal
or see it,
scrutiny,
so
including an ongoing lawsuit about the job duties of former President Richie Davis and growing member concerns that have been made public.
That's why I put my TV.
In moments like that, organizations often narrow their public face not to empower members, but to protect reputations. And that brings me to something personal, but important. At the meeting, division flyers were distributed listing Surface Division leadership. I am an elected third vice chair, yet next to my name it reads, information not provided. That omission is not clerical. Other officers, some elected later, had full contact information listed. Selective exclusion sends a message. It tells members which voices they want to be elevated and which ones are being filtered out intentionally. A union confident in its integrity does not erase elected officers from official materials. So when you put all of this together, the expensive venue, the lack of substance, the absence of microphones, the controlled imagery, the omission of elected voices, and the push for photos, it paints a clear picture. This was a highly staged event, designed to look like unity, designed to avoid accountability, designed to manage perception, not empower membership. Solidarity is not silence. Unity is not choreography. And democracy does not happen on a stage where only a few people are allowed to speak. If we are serious about winning a strong contract, then meetings must be about strategy, transparency, and member power, not optics. We deserve better than slogans. We deserve better than stage photos. And we deserve a union that trusts in its members enough to let them speak,
trying to figure out why
not silence them. Thank you. Peace and blessings. I'm Haile DeBreo, third vice chair of TA Circus.
I have Chrome on it already.
All right, we back. So there you got it from the third vice chair, Mr. Braille, messing up his name there. But yeah, he even says it how the union ain't what it's supposed to be.
And what kills me? This brother, I was on a Zoom call with him, with Evangeline, and everything I threw at him, and he don't have that much time on the job. He knew all the procedures that I was throwing at him. And he
Right.
tried to use each procedure that would protect him and the members. And they targeted him. And the
Mm-hmm.
union did nothing about it. So that shows you exactly what the people should understand. That's exactly what kind of union they have.
Right.
Um, my concern is he's very well spoken. He's ready to get to business. But there was also another person that was very well spoken and just totally disappointed me.
Oh yeah, who's that?
Alexander Kemp, very well
Mm,
spoken, smart guy,
mm,
and he fell right into the trap.
mm.
And I'm hoping that this brother doesn't neither. And if I can help him, like I told him before, if I can help him in any kind of way, I would. But he laid it out and he told the truth. You get the members to a one place and it's contract time, and you don't talk about the contract. You don't discuss it or ask people what, or take a survey or what people want in this contract.
Right. You should be listening to your constituents' concerns and writing them down and addressing them. I mean, it's the first mass meeting of the year. Maybe no excuse for them not doing that. Like you said, having both podiums on the side so people can speak. No excuse for that. But hopefully they see the members' concerns, and for the next mass meeting they do exactly that. But if they don't, then people have a choice to make when it comes down to election time.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
The-
I was looking at a post that the union put up. They out there in solidarity with the nurses. Oh, we out there in solidarity with the nurses. So I wrote under there, do the nurses know what you did to your retirees?
right, right.
And if they did, they probably would kick y'all off the picket line. And some dude, Eric Legal, came back. Can you stop? Could you bury the hatchet for a minute? Bury the hatchet. The destruction that these guys did, that you're taking up for to retirees. You want me to just bury the hatchet? Not as long as I'm breathing.
Right. I mean, why would you bury the hatchet when you're living through it at the very moment you're speaking about it? What's there to bury? For what? For
Exactly.
what?
Fix
And
it. If
then
you want me
and
to bury it, fix what you did.
right, it's a difficult story we have here from man. That's a big name, bro. No excuse for that. But then Why didn't any of the members stand up during the meeting and say something? That's a
You-
point.
Excellent point. They
That's a
are.
point.
I don't know if they're afraid or they have them programmed that they will not ostracize them, but retaliate against you.
Retaliate. Yeah.
That's that gangster mentality
Right.
that I wasn't afraid of. It's not, but so much you can do. You can do to me as long as I come to work, have my uniform straight, do what the transit authority asks me to do. You can't do nothing to me. And you don't need the union. The union is not just to get you out of trouble. That's the
Right.
mentality of a lot of members. That's their mentality. They have to look up and do some research on what a union is really all about. It's not just to get you out of trouble because I don't know how many times I heard that when I was an officer. It's the union is why you got a vacation, why you got a 40-hour work week, why you got sick time, why you got this. You got to
Well, you got
preserve that.
benefits.
Yeah,
Period.
you got to preserve that. And these
Yeah.
guys are giving it all away.
Right. Because the MTA is a business before anything, and they trying to protect their bottom line. And if they could cut costs here and there, they're gonna do it. They're gonna cut your hours. They're gonna cut your pay and make you work longer hours in the name of efficiency.
Exactly.
Right? They don't care about you. They just want to make as much money as they can with paying out as little as possible, and that's their bottom line.
Yeah.
And the minute you realize that, you should be with the union. The union is going to protect you from stuff like that.
Exactly. And
But
to the brother's point that wrote that, asked that question, like I said, I want to go back to that is that I don't know if they're afraid or what, but somebody should have stood up and asked the question, what are we going to
right,
do in this contract? What do y'all propose in this contract?
right.
Nobody proposed. They didn't talk about the contract at all.
His name is My Dad Bod Transformation. Okay, all right, we got you. But you know what, Lloyd? To remedy the problem of them not having podiums for you to speak. Members should invest in a bullhorn. At next mass meeting, take the bullhorn to the meeting and then stand up and ask your question with a bullhorn. They don't want to provide mics, bring a bullhorn.
Exactly. Exactly.
It can't
That
stop you from asking questions.
exactly.
You know,
But that type of unionism, I hate to say it, is gone. It's well, I can't say it's gone, but you need leadership to bring that out of the members. That's what you need.
yep, you need a. That's why, Lloyd, I never call them leaders. I never call them leaders. I always refer to them as elected officials because for me personally, you have to earn that title of a leader and you have to prove it when you're doing your job. You know, leaders are not just because you got elected, you're a leader. No.
Exactly.
You have to prove that you're a leader. You have to be able to stand on the front lines when things are hard and you have to be able to make proper decisions that's going to benefit your constituents.
Right.
Even if
Exactly.
even if it hurts you, you're not there for you. You're there for them. So it may go against you and everything you believe in, but if it's what's best for who you're working for, then that's what you got to do. And
And you know what, Blunt, with all of that, what you said is about elected officials. For that job, it has to be in you. You can't just want it to get off the bus or
mm-hmm,
wear a suit and tie. It
mm-hmm,
has to be embedded in you. You got to understand what it is.
mm-hmm,
You got no. There should be no fear of nothing when you do
exactly.
this. But I think these officers fear management because they kowtow down to them. They make videos. They're doing 19As and all of that. But what about all the other stuff that the managers are getting away with? False reports and all of this stuff. I mean, come on. When are you going to stop? When are you going to put? When are they going to put the hammer down? But if you don't have nobody at the top that has your back or is
Mm-hmm,
weak, then the rest of the body is no good.
exactly. Yeah, you had said something about a survey uh, in one of your earlier comments, and that brings me to what's going on with TW 100R Incorporated. On our website, let me share the screen because where is it? Oh, here we go. On our website, we have a survey that we need to be filled out from everybody who is experiencing any kind of disruptions with their medical. So if you go to www.tw100r.org, you will see this survey here. And I'm just giving you a glimpse of what it is, you know. Are you on Medicare? Were you aware that you were auto enrolled? Has a doctor had to wait for pre authorizations? How many of your doctors no longer accept Aetna? Has your hospital refused to accept Aetna? It's a simple survey that you can fill out, and it'll go right to TWU, right?
And these are things that we need to show a judge.
Right.
All right. I don't know. I don't know if you mind if I just go into it real
Go
quick.
ahead.
All
Go ahead.
right.
That's the segue.
We
Oh,
we just we just filed to appeal a decision from the judge. The judge gave us a partial, in my opinion, decisions. One of the main focuses was we didn't have enough evidence. All right. I don't know if guys remember that I was begging. I was begging for affidavits,
yeah.
affidavits, affidavits, and this survey plus an affidavit. Now we would like to have the affidavits are done as evidence that They say that they don't have any pre-authorizations, they don't have any denials or delays. But if you're having a problem with your doctor and he's saying, well, you got to wait before I can do this test, like I went to a cardiologist, I have to wait until May and do May, let's say May 29th to do one part of the test, May 30th to do another part. I got to stay in New York 5 days to complete all these tests because they will not let them do all the tests at once. They
Mm.
have to authorize them one day at a time, and that's the app. That's one of my affidavits that I'm going to put in. But guys, if you can, just do the surveys for us, and if you're having a problem, you know, Blunt just put the he just told you the website to go to, uh, and I'm going back to what the judge said that it wasn't enough evidence, and then he confused our case with the city's case. I don't know how he did that. So we're appealing it. We filed the motion for the appeal. We have 6 months to file a motion to file the appeal. So um, if
Yeah,
you
so
got
that appeal is going to cost what is it? What he said, 28 plus
28,000
20K
plus,
plus. Yeah, that's just for the appeal alone. So this is why we're acting. We're acting. Listen, you can scan the code, scan the QR code. You could go to www.twu100r.org. You could donate there, PayPal, um,
so
Zelle. But yeah, take a screenshot. Let me move this off the way so you can get a full thing. And send your donations because we need those donations. There's what seven of us on the board
yep,
here, right? And all of us are retired. We don't have $28,000 to give a lawyer. So all that money comes from you guys. And we need it. So we're asking. I'm begging. Send what you can. I don't care how small it is, $5, $2, $1. We love the reoccurring payments. Some people do reoccurring payments for $25 a month, $50 a month. We have over 1,000 people on our Facebook channel. And if 1,000 people send about $50, we will have more than enough money to pay this lawyer and keep going. Because we're going to be fighting this for years. This we on what is what our second year, second
second
year,
year. It'll be our second
second
year
year,
coming up. Yep.
right? And we didn't get to the trial yet. We didn't get to the trial. It's preliminaries, and it's taken over a year just to do that. And now we got to do the appeal. And if we win this appeal, then we start the trial.
Right.
We're going to be going on for a long time. And the good thing about what the judge did, he didn't totally um, knock us down. There's a couple of points that we won on issues, right? But other issues, are kind of we all feel like it was a clerical error that messed us up, not on our behalf, but on other people's behalf that are working for us, uh, lawyers. But
Yeah.
they kind of messed up, and that messed us up. And so the only good thing is that we didn't totally lose the whole case, so we still have footings, and we want to make this case that we're going to present now a lot stronger. In order for us to do that, though, we need not just your donations, but we need your affidavits. There's a lot of people who will call Lloyd, or they will put in the Facebook chat group um, that they're having a situation, whether it be a delay or a denial, or their prescription just shot up, and they'll put it in the Facebook group. But when we say, okay, cool, we just need you to fill out this affidavit so we can hand that in. That's evidence for us. Then you get crickets. Nobody wants to fill out affidavit. I don't know if it's like Lloyd was saying earlier, they're in fear of retaliation of some kind. From who? From what? I don't know. But
Right.
just fill out the affidavits and send it in. You
And
know.
I just want to put this one more thing out there. I'm gonna go back to the Javits Center. you active guys that are out there, and you think you're going to get a contract, um, believe me, if you do, you're going to lose something. And I hope it's not your medical or you have to pay more into your medical. All right. The nurses turned down their contract with a astronomical amount of money. They didn't care about the money, which is a
Mm-hmm.
smart move. They
Mm-hmm.
wanted their medical when they retired. They wanted their medical now and you wouldn't. Did anybody believe that a nurse is having a hard time to keep their
That's what I
medical?
was. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I would think
Right,
that would be part of their job.
exactly.
Like you
So
gotta
this
be
is a
kidding
big
me.
fight, and people don't
Yeah.
understand. Is you're going to get the money, but what happens when you get older or when you get sick and you got to go to a hospital? Oh, we don't take this coverage here, or we don't use your coverage any. We don't take your coverage anymore because they can't. Doctors can't be doctors. It's
Mm-hmm.
ran by algorithm, or like Dr. Oz wants to do. He wants AI to run this. Come on, I don't want no robot running my nothing to do with my medical, but
Mm-hmm.
we got to fight it back. Ain't nobody coming to save us but us.
Exactly. Exactly. And so we're gonna leave it there for you guys. This was a interesting show. Appreciate everybody who came in. Mr. My Body, my dad bod. Appreciate your comment. Uh, yeah. So we gonna move on to see what's going to happen next week. But prayers for those out in Minnesota.
Yes,
Hopefully, this stuff dies down and we could get some sort of peace going on. Don't forget TW100R. We're still fighting. Donations are still needed to be sent in, regardless of how much it is. Send them in. Don't be afraid to send $5. If that's all you got, that's all you got. We're not trying to break your bank. We just want help. And so beggars can't be choosy. Say what you can. Again,
exactly.
the reoccurring donations are even better. You know, even if it's a reoccurring of a $10 payment, that's fine. Thank you, appreciate it. Send the $10 every month. That's great. You know, we need the help. We need the help. We need the donations. We need the affidavits, especially the affidavits. Both of them are of equal weight. And appreciate you guys, man. You know, Lloyd.
Yeah, I just want to say, yeah, I just need you guys to be engaged, get engaged with this, even if you're not retired. You know, I appreciate if anybody out there that's listening that did donate to us. I want to say thank you personally. Um, if you can get the message out to your coworkers to let them know the seriousness of this, that is greatly appreciated also. And I'd like to thank my man Blunt for letting me come on with him tonight.
Yes, I appreciate you, Lord. And with that said, this is the end of the show. For next words, please, Lloyd, appreciate you. Everybody else, have a good night. Remember, appreciate you coming in. Could have been here anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here. So fuck them if they can't take a joke. Later.
All right, B. I got my grandkids up here.
All right. Later.
I'm going to go down. All right, take it light. Thank you.
All right. All right.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.